Welcome to all my audience around the world. This is the second episode of Stories, and I have live Miss Kim Araman with me. Miss Kim Araman is an interview coach. She is the regional brand manager at Ferrero. She was working with Unilever, she was working for Kellogg's, and she has a good expertise of interview nailing and interview coaching with different institutions. So, welcome, Miss Kim, to the show.
Thank you, Jason. It's great to be here.
Thank you. Ms. Kim, how are you today?
Good, very good. How are you?
Perfect. Thanks a lot for joining in. I know it's a busy schedule today, but still thanks taking your time to join this show.
No worries. I'm happy to be here.
Great. Ms. Kim, before going in detail, we want to know about you more, about your professional life.
Sure. So I'm an interview and career coach. So what I do is I help people first get the job that they really want to get. If they're not sure of what it is, or if they're stuck in a job where 88% of people now are stuck in a job where they're unhappy or are unhappy with their work. Exactly. So I help them understand what it is that they want to do, and to really get it and to nail each single interview that they have to be able to get that.
Wow, that's a very tough job, actually. It's more tough than people appearing for interviews.
It is, but it's very gratifying and satisfying when you're able to contribute positively to other people's happiness as well.
Thanks. That's a great thing you're giving to the community back. Amazing. Before going into details, Ms. Kim, I just wanted to check, get information from you. What are the toughest moments which you have faced in your life? Maybe you can name one or two toughest moments and how you overcame all these toughest moments.
I would say definitely would be me starting my own business. Okay. So I've moved a lot in my corporate world, like in the corporate, professional experience that I have, getting promotion, changing industries, changing from one job to another. And I had obstacles, and I had challenges here and there, of course. Starting in a new company every time, getting to know the processes and everything is challenging. Yeah. But I can guarantee you nothing is as challenging as starting your own business. And I'm very happy that it's doing amazing at the moment. But the beginnings are not easy to be an entrepreneur, especially when you are, working on a full-time job at the same time as well. is like very compromising. But the challenge and the mindset of an entrepreneur as well, and the obstacles are very different versus your day-to-day life. Like exactly. You have to have like a super strong mindset consistently, because there are going to be ups and downs, and there are going to be things that are not going the way you want them, that are going to be slower than how you want them to be. Yeah. You have to be super patient. You have to be very hardworking, trying and testing every single thing to see what works. And really like consistent with hard work, with effort, networking, everything. So I can definitely say doing my own business and then continuing on the path, because it's something to start, but another thing to continue, has definitely been so far one of the most challenging, but also a very gratifying thing I've done so far.
Amazing. Especially with brands like Unilever, Ferrero, and Kellogg. The exposure you have got as a brand manager or as a face of these big products, especially in the FMCG line, what was the biggest challenge you faced, and how you overcame all these challenges being an entrepreneur?
Well, I think I've worked for some of the, as you said, some of the greatest names out there. Like I remember also my first internship was with the Coca-Cola company based in France. And that's one of the most memorable one I've had. I think, it's everyone's dream if you want to be in marketing to start with that company. Yeah. So definitely that was very very satisfying. I would say the challenge is for example, when you don't dig deep enough before jumping into something. So
researching.
Everyone thinks, exactly. So everyone thinks, for example, even forget about FMCG, tech industry, for example, is so interesting, right? And everyone says, I want to join Google, I want to join Amazon, I want to join Uber, whatever it is. I think that's great. But the advice I would give for people out there is don't just focus on the name. in the sense that it's great to have a name of your on your CV, and if you can, that of course it's amazing to have, to build your experience, to build your reputation and everything.
Yeah.
But make sure you do your research behind it, because a big name doesn't mean that you're going to be happy there. Make sure that you do your research in terms of what are the company's values. Do they really fit with who you are and what you want to do, not with what you think they are and who you think they are,
Exactly.
especially the role that you're applying for. We have always a sense of idea that I'm going to do that on my day-to-day role because this is what we have as an idea. But before taking the job, ask someone who is actually doing the job.
Yeah.
What do they do on a day-to-day basis? What are the challenges that they face on a day-to-day basis? What's their favorite part of the job? What's their least favorite part of the job? All of the things that are interesting for you to know.
Yeah.
Really dig deep before taking the role at the end. And of course, it's always good to practice and go out there and trial it out. But before taking the role, make sure for yourself that you do your research, because you don't want to end up joining the company and then feeling like I'm unhappy after 6 months or a year and saying, okay, but what am I missing? I thought this is what I wanted. Be very mindful of it.
Yeah, exactly. Because I come across a lot of people where the mental attitude is that I know everything, with inverted commas, I know everything. So don't teach me, or I am super, super efficient. So, but I think the learning mentality and the researching mentality till you die, I would term as till you die, you have to keep on learning. So I think that's a very important takeaway you have given to our audiences. And any special three advices you can give to people who want to start their professional career?
Yeah, of course.
Yeah.
I mean, when we say, like, if you join a new company, we always say, be careful with the first 90 days that you have, right?
Yeah.
And there is a book that says your first 90 days. I would recommend for people to read that as well if they haven't.
Okay.
Why 90 days? 90 days is very important because it first helps give a lasting impression of the the person that joined, for your boss, for your leaders, for your colleagues, for the people that work with you, and also for yourself. You're joining a new company. You don't know much about the company other than the things you would have researched before. There is lots to learn. And you need to make sure that after the 90 days, you're able to be equipped to go on with the rest of the process, because people understand when you join a company, there's always a learning phase, right? They don't expect you to do things from day one. And if they are, then I would say don't work for them if they're expecting you to do that. But there is always a learning process. There is always a learning curve, and people understand that. But you also have to be mindful that you get as much as you can from these 90 days, because after that, they would expect you to be up and running and be faster, be understanding the processes. Of course, as you said, and I'm definitely on the same school as you, learning is constant. You never stop learning, even if you're a CEO or a managing director. Exactly. But there are certain things you need to acquire that are the basics of the job you're applying for, that you need to manage, and that you need to make sure that you show them that you are equipped and that you're ready to take on, so they can give you more. You don't want to come at the end of the 90 days and they say, oh, but I haven't seen much from you yet. I'm yet to wait and to see, because there is still this probation period, which is very important.
Yeah.
This is where you will succeed or you will fail. And you want to make sure that the lasting impression you give is super important. So be mindful of the first 90 days. Learn as much as you can. Don't be in the mindset that I know how to do this, let me learn something I don't. Consider every single thing as if it's the first time you're learning it, because it will always give you a different perspective on things. You never know as much as the biggest expert out there, no matter how experienced they are.
True.
And the third thing is network. Networking is not just outside of the company. Network is within the company. Go and go and meet people, and we are not all extroverts. There are introverts, there are introverts, and that's perfectly fine. And it's not about being, giving a speech out there, but you need to network, because this is what's going to make a lasting impression. And networking doesn't mean you're going to ask work questions. Don't go into job directly. Go into the personal side. Try to see if you can find a common ground with the other person that's going to help you next time build a deeper relationship with them. And that will also help you get a lasting impression in the company.
Yeah, as they say, networking is your net worth.
Yes.
Thanks a lot. Yeah. This is such a great takeaway, because our audiences will be so much motivated by your by seeing this and after listening all these things, because it's coming from such an expert. And thanks a lot again joining live. Thanks for taking time for this segment. And hopefully our audiences would be so much blessed, so much grateful to have you. Thanks a lot, Ms. Kim, again.
You're welcome. I'm more than happy to help. And if anyone needs any support in terms of, career guidance, if anyone needs support in terms of work or anything related to professional interviews and everything, I'm more than happy to help. They can reach out to me and I'm more than happy to help them get there.
True. I'll be dropping the links for all your profile, and you're on Instagram and Facebook as well. So if I would share the links.
My website. Super. Sounds good.
Yeah. Thanks a lot again. Thank you for coming live.
Jason.